want to know how I know God exists? Let me tell you a story. My name is Hillary. One summer, my husband Josh and I happened to be working the same retail job. I walked in to pick up my schedule. He walked in to do the same. A few weeks later, he asked me on a date. Gave him a very romantic Chick-fil-A lunch date. And over milkshakes and chicken tenders, we discovered that we went to the same high school, graduated 1 year apart, yet never met each other. Fast forward a few years, we fell in love, we got married, I was graduating from PT school, we bought our first house. We had our first kid. I became a pediatric physical therapist, and about 4 years into my clinical practice, I felt this nudge to come home. No clear reason, just a call that I couldn't ignore. So I quit. Several months later, I found out that I was pregnant with our second child, Marcelly. And halfway through my pregnancy, we learned that she had many medical complications. Every scan left us with questions that no one could answer. It took a full 2 years to discover why she had these complications. Repeat genetic testing eventually revealed that Marcelly had an ultra-rare loss-of-function mutation in the PPF-IBP1 gene. How rare, you ask? There is one study. One. It was published shortly after she was born, and it included fewer than 20 patients worldwide. This condition is an autosomal recessive condition, which means that for a child to inherit the condition, it has to inherit 2 copies of the dysfunctional gene, one from each parent. If both parents are carriers, there's a 25% chance in each pregnancy that they will have a child with the condition. But the 25% thing, that's not the rare part. The rare part is this. What are the odds that 2 completely unrelated people from completely different ancestral backgrounds are both carrying the same ultra-rare recessive mutation? I'm not a geneticist, but I'm curious. Based on rough genetic modeling, a condition this rare might suggest a carrier frequency of somewhere between 1 in 5,000 and 1 in 10,000. That's being pretty generous. It's quite possible that it's even more rare than that to be a carrier of this condition. For comparison, the carrier frequency for something like cystic fibrosis is 1 in 25 or 1 in 30, which means the probability of 2 unrelated individuals meeting and having this same ultra-rare genetic mutation that they're carrying is 1 in tens of millions. Oh, but wait. There's more. Do you know that biologists refer to even the mere existence of an individual human being as a statistical miracle? That's because when you stack statistics on top of each other, like the odds of your parents meeting and their parents meeting and all of the other things added together, including the probability of one specific sperm meeting one specific egg, the exact combination that makes you. All of those statistics added together, like the odds of you existing is astronomically small. So in regards to our story, on top of all of that, on top of like just in general, the odds of a single person existing, we're talking about this specific little girl, this exact genetic code, this child, my Marcelly, born to 2 parents who didn't meet in high school, though they went to the same high school. No, they met years later at a retail job, who then went on to fall in love and just so happened to be carrying the same ultra-rare genetic mutation. A genetic mutation that hadn't even been described in the medical literature yet, but was described months after their daughter was born. And some people tell me God wouldn't do that. God isn't responsible for something like this. But I don't believe that my daughter is merely the product of blind chance stacked on blind chance. I mean, I guess you could believe that, but I believe that God is sovereign over biology. He's sovereign over DNA replication. He's sovereign over probability itself. Now, I know some people are going to say that proves nothing. You didn't prove that God exists, and that's true. I said this is how I know he exists. Because based on our life experiences, I had 3 choices. I could believe that he doesn't exist and that all of this is literally just a product of chance. Could believe that he does exist, but that he's cruel and that he just wanted to see us suffer. But I've had far more evidence to tell me that a 3rd option is true. And that 3rd option is that God is real. He does have a plan, that he loves us, and that although we may experience suffering, none of that is in vain. He has already conquered the world and he will not forsake us. That Jesus lived on this earth, that he died, that he rose again, and that those who believe in him will not perish but have eternal life. I will see my daughter again. Rare does not mean random. Marcelly is not a statistical accident. She is our daughter, and she was and is known fully and intentionally, fearfully and wonderfully made by the God who created the stars and every hair on her head. That is how I know God exists.